All right, guys, I'm back with another reading video from our new unit, Meeting Characters and Learning Lessons. And I want to start off with a little story. I went to my goddaughter's birthday party, and when I went in, the table was all stacked with presents. There was a table in the front all stacked with presents, and all the kids were playing games. And then everyone had pizza and sang happy birthday. And my goddaughter Jasmine, her mom brought out the cake, and Jasmine closed her eyes. She made a wish, and what do you think happened next? Yes, she blew out the candles. And then, what do you think happened after that, after Jasmine blew out the candles? Yes, we ate the cake. And then Jasmine sat down beside the presents at the table, and what happened? Yes, she opened them. See, you knew all those things were going to happen because that was part of your background knowledge. You've been to a lot of birthday parties, and you knew what was going to happen. So when you're reading stories, you have to look for the clues in the story to tell you what's going to happen next. But you also can use what you already know, your background knowledge. Readers pay attention to everything that's happened in the story to figure out what's going to come next. You think about what already happened in the story, and you think about what you already know to predict what might happen next. So in this story, Curious George rides a bike. Well, I see the title, and on this page, the man in the yellow hat is taking the bike out of the box, and Curious George looks so excited. What do you think's going to happen next? I think he's going to ride the bike, and on the next page it shows you that's exactly what he does. Because I used the clues from the story, that it was Curious George's birthday, or it was the birthday of when the man in the yellow hat got him, and the man in the yellow hat was giving Curious George a present. He's taking the bike out. Curious George is excited, so I think he's going to ride the bike. In this book, Mr. Putter and Tabby Bake the Cake by Cynthia Rylant, I see that Mr. Putter baked a cake for Miss Teaberry and brought the cake over in a box wrapped up. What is Miss Teaberry going to do next? Well, I think she's going to open the present. And you see, that's what she did. She opened the present and she found the cake. Okay? I used the clues from the story and what I already know. In this book, Henry and Mudge and the Bedtime Thumps, also by Cynthia Rylant, well, Henry and Mudge went to Grandma's house, and Mudge had to sleep outside. And Henry was scared sleeping in that big house by himself. And so what do you think he's going to do? Well, I think maybe he will go get Mudge, because that's what I would do. And he's always with Mudge and usually sleeps with Mudge. So I think that might be what he does. And look, he goes and calls Mudge. Okay? So you already know lots of things. So you need to use what you already know and the clues that the author gives you. I'm going to show this in Iris and Walter in the Field Trip, the book that we're using. Chapter 2 is called The Bus Ride. And it says, on Friday morning, Miss Cherry said, "We're lucky to have Jenny's mother come on the field trip with us today." Jenny gave her mother a big hug. "I know we're going to have a great time," said Miss Cherry. Now, I see the parents there, and they said the mother is there, Jenny's mother's there to go on the trip. I see the bus in the background. So guess what? I think today must be the trip day. And they're going to go on the trip to the aquarium. Now, listen to the next clue. It says, "Now let's go over the rules. Remember, pay attention. Hang on to your partner, stay with the group, and if you get lost, stay where you are and I will find you," said Miss Cherry. "I've never been lost, have you?" Iris asked Lulu. "No, and I sure wouldn't want to be," said Lulu. "That would be scary," said Benny. "Really scary," said Walter. Now, That's the author giving you a clue, and we already know that somebody gets lost. But that's the author giving you another clue in the story that somebody's going to get lost, because they're talking, the author is talking about someone getting lost, and Miss Cherry's going over the rules, and then the children are talking about how scary it would be if somebody got lost. So in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, somebody's going to get lost in the story. That's the author giving you a clue. You have to pay attention to those little clues in the story that can tell you that something scary is going to happen, or even that something happy is going to happen. Okay, remember, readers pay attention to what is happening in the story and what they already know, so that you can predict what comes next. Okay, I want you to think about that while you're reading today. Stop and think about what's going to happen next, and use the clues from the story and what you already know. Okay, I'll see you next time.